Fun House. I'm Molly.
And I am Molly's Grandma Sue from America.
Yep.
Well, welcome to our podcast.
Yeah, it's the second time that she's on, and I'm super excited about it because we haven't seen you for a while. Like, I was talking to you, my grandma, a couple of weeks ago, and we realized that it's been weeks. It's been months. Two months or so since you've been on.
Is it really?
Yeah, because you were on the 5th episode, and we're already at the 14th episode. So
gosh.
it's been 11 weeks. So
Time flies.
Yeah. So we're going to start talking about some things that I'm working on. And how about I show some things that I'm working on, and then you can show something. So I'll show the first thing that I'm working on. I haven't worked a lot on this, but it's my Cozy Memories blanket. You know, I've never actually shown this to you. You've just seen it in the podcast. The mitered squares blanket.
Oh yeah, and you've done a few more squares, and I am sending a few little balls.
Ah, you are.
I hope they're big enough.
You know, I think they will be. I'll show you. I can show you right now, actually. So on a podcast 2 episodes ago, I had asked if my viewers wanted to send some yarn, and I got so many responses, which is really cool. And so today, actually, I received my first package of little things of yarn. So when I asked if people could send their yarn, I wanted their stories attached. So I didn't just want them to send yarn. I thought that it would be super cool if they would say, you know, this is the yarn that I used for this. It's special because whatever. So Kelly sent me some yarn. So here it is. And she even wound it. Like, how spiffy is this? When I opened up the package, I thought, oh my God, how professional. So I'll show you.
Where is Kelly from?
Kelly is from Indiana.
Ah.
Brownsburg, Indiana. Do you know where that is?
No.
Yeah. So I won't tell you what every yarn is from, but so this one is Sunrise Fiber Company. This is merino, South Superwash merino.
Pretty.
Yeah, so you don't need so much. I can't believe she wound it up in these mini skeins. Yeah, super cute. And then this one.
And was that sport weight?
No, I would say it's a fingering weight. If you look at how thin it is.
Okay.
All of them are fingering weights. Bigger. All of them are like a sock. Fingering weight. And then this one is spun right round. She said this is her favorite yarn company. These kind of look like your sort of colors, Grandma.
Uh-huh.
Because you love, Grandma's favorite color is, what is it?
Green.
Yeah, and this is really pretty greens and browns and grays kind of. And then she sent this one. It's Jojo Land Melody. I think they're maybe kind of hard to see. Maybe they're not showing up so nice.
Yeah, it's pretty.
And this one's really cool. This one is a Patton's Croy, which I've knit a pair of socks out of, but it looks really like hand-spun yarn. This also looks like something that you would really like. I can see you liking this.
They all look pretty.
And she sent a lot of this one. I think this would be enough to make 2 or 3 squares, which is cool. I'm so excited to see what else I get. And this one's really neat because she used this yarn in one of my knit-alongs. So that's cool. Yeah. So anyway, I've only knit 1 square. I haven't even finished it. I just knit from the socks that I was knitting. But that's pretty. It. Yeah, I've been so busy that's all that's been able to happen. What about you? What?
Well, I've only been knitting my bracelets, which I have one on.
Which I talked about last episode, I think. Can you remember when I talked about that? If it was last episode or the episode before? They all kind of jumbled together.
I don't remember. So I have some back on the table there, and I'm sending you an LOD matching bracelets.
You are?
Yeah. I thought you were going to talk about crochet first. So I have crocheting in my mind.
I know we'll talk about that. We can talk about it now if you want. I planned on talking about it last.
Oh, okay.
Last. So you've been crocheting the bracelets. Put it up a little bit closer.
Knitting.
Or knitting.
Knitting.
Yeah. Grandma I've talked about this before. The episode that you were actually on, we talked about it. That you go through these phases where you find something that you knit, you really like to knit it, and you just go crazy with knitting them. What all have you done this with? I can think of a couple things.
Baby socks.
Yeah.
Baby hats.
And when I
Fingerless
say,
knits.
yeah, and it's really is crazy. It's not like she knits 5 pair or something. She knits like, what would you say,
Maybe
20,
100.
30 pair? Yeah, and that's not even a joke. That's not even, the funny thing is,
No,
is
it's
it sounds
not.
like an exaggeration, but it's totally not. Yeah, baby mittens. Or
I
not.
have boxes in my closet.
Yeah. It's
Assorted.
fun to go through though. It's fun when I'm over there. Sometimes we'll look through and look at the hats and, yeah, babe, what is it all? Even adult socks. There was a time when you knit loads of adult socks. That's all that you had knitting on your needles.
Probably not as many adult socks as I went through mittens, all sizes.
What would you say is your biggest seller? Because you've sold, would you say it's baby socks?
Probably.
Yeah. Yeah. Grandma has
And I
an
don't have any here.
amazing pattern for baby socks.
Yeah, my own pattern.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Norwegian Fair Isle, really pretty.
I'll have to show them next time. You remind me.
I will. Yeah, we have to make sure that we do this more often, not once every other month. It'll only be 6 times a year then, which would be such a pity. But yeah, so let's show your bracelet. Put it up a little bit closer. So that's one yarn. Is it just a variegated sock yarn?
Yeah. Yes.
And
yes.
it looks like you have a bangle inside of there, but you don't. So Grandma,
It just rolls up.
How do you make
and this
that?
Is,
Put it back yeah, right there.
yeah. That was a pretty yarn. Pretty colors.
How long does it take you to make one, would you say?
I never time myself, and it depends upon the size. Here's one for Elodie.
Oh, that looks like a
Pink
little watermelon.
And green.
That's cute. And you're always just using one yarn. You're not using one and then...
Always just one yarn.
Yeah.
Then I made some sparkly white. Can you see that that's sparkly white? It's a white
not
with
really. It doesn't look sparkly, but it does have sparkle in it.
Yeah.
How cute.
And I sent one for you and one for Elodie of this.
Oh, no, you can wear it with anything.
Yeah. And then this is just a beige one that's got different colored threads.
That was really nice. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I made some little fish out of this one and necklaces. Remember my necklaces? I'll have to show them another time.
With the beads, with the clay beads and...
Yeah, assorted things.
And rings. The fish? Oh my goodness, there are so many things. So many fun things. Yeah. So how do you knit those? I mean, it's just a quite easy thing. What size needles do you use?
I usually use...
It's not knit in the round.
2. No. You know, and I think I told you that we saw these at Lanesboro when we were there in July at a shop. Lanesboro was a tourist town in Minnesota.
Yeah.
And they were selling for $35, which I and my daughter could not believe because we knit.
Yeah.
Did
they have a bead on them? Did they have a bead on them, or they were just plain?
A button. A button.
The necklaces.
I'm talking about the bracelets. That's what we saw at Lanesboro.
Kiarma, can you lean back just a teeny bit? Otherwise, it's cutting off your chin. Perfect.
Yeah. Okay.
So they were selling them for €35. $35. And
I kind of tried to count her stitches. I don't know if you can see it just rolls up on its own. That's how wide it is.
So it's knit in a straight line. It's not knit in a round.
And I probably, cast on, say 12 stitches. 11, 12, or 13, or
Depending upon the weight
depending
of the
on,
yarn.
and just knit it the length I want it, bind it off, sew it up, and it just rolls like that.
What makes you decide to knit it in a straight line? How come you don't knit it in the round? Then you don't have to seam it.
You know, it's so easy to seam it, and
It rolls differently, I guess, that way.
yeah,
And
and what
it
needs
looks, it has a
needle to
different
do.
look. Yeah, it looks nicer, I think, with the
Yeah,
stitches all going vertically.
yeah.
And
So,
you've sold those. What do you sell yours for?
you know, I did sell a few for $20
With or without a button?
without. I discovered that really, I bought some really nice buttons, but I like them without the buttons just as well, or better
Yeah,
sometimes.
yeah. I think, yeah, I like them as well without the buttons. If you have a neat enough yarn, then it speaks for itself. I mean,
Right.
I think like when you made the necklaces, I mean, it stinks that we can't show them right now because then the viewers would have a better idea. But because Grandma, she made some necklaces with these clay beads that are about this long. Some of them are even a little bit smaller, and they kind of are stamped, the clay beads, right?
I stamped some.
Ah, you made some.
Yeah.
See,
Hmm.
Grandma, she does everything.
Next time. Next time. And where I got the idea was a friend showed me one that she'd gotten as a gift from somebody who'd been to Norway.
Ah, mm-hmm.
And
Nice.
hers had looked like a little slinky on it.
Ah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know, and I never could figure out, okay, how did they knit those necklaces? It didn't look like there was a seam.
Mm-hmm.
Did they knit them in the round? Well, then how would you get anything on them?
You would probably have it on there already. You would probably have it on your needle already. And if it's a slinky, then maybe they just use a piece of wire and then they attached it afterwards.
But it was perfect. I don't think they could have. So anyway, and I really didn't. I loved the idea, but I didn't really like the necklace.
Mm-hmm.
So I picked up my own yarns that I liked, looked all over for things with a big enough hole, because at that time all the beads had little holes
Mm-hmm.
that I
How
could
long
find.
ago was it?
Oh gosh, don't ask me, because time escapes me. A long time ago.
It's better you don't pay attention and just live life by the
Yeah.
flowing around.
So then I started, and I'll show you when I show the necklaces. I started knitting like a smaller necklace.
I remember we
found
had this whole
beads.
conversation. I
Yeah,
remember
I
when you
found.
started them because you were trying to
Yeah,
figure out and we were wondering if it was maybe a big I cord, if it was mhm.
yeah. But they're like the bracelets.
Yeah, yeah. Same exact technique you're using, right?
Yep, yep. I just knit a longer thing, and it
Yeah.
just rolls up.
Yeah, they're
And
pretty.
yeah,
Have you sold any of those?
you know, I sold quite a few, and I get compliments on different ones.
Well, you have some hanging in your bathroom, at least when you lived
They're
where
in the
you lived
closet.
before. Oh my God, they
Yeah,
are really
yeah,
pretty. I think you
yeah,
have like two or three. Those must be your favorite.
yeah. The ones that I consider mine that I wear
Yeah,
or hanging in the bathroom.
yeah. Oh my
Yeah.
God. If you have any extra, you should send me one. I don't have any.
You don't?
I don't.
Gosh, well, I'll send you a couple.
I would totally wear one.
Mm, yeah.
Do you have any extra ones with I like the clay ones the best. Those are my favorite.
Oh, I probably do. I
Yeah.
probably do.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
clay, they just look so cool and so nice with more of a plain shirt and yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be so nice.
Yeah.
All right,
I've
so
got a frog in my throat, so I have to drink coffee and cough.
I'm drinking too. Well, why don't we talk about what are you drinking out of?
Well, I looked through my cups, and I set one out that I got from Rachel that I think is kind of pretty. It's a Wedgwood wild apple, but I'm drinking out of one that I got in Florida at a restaurant we liked called Another Broken Egg.
Oh, put it up a little bit higher. I like that one. So it's a
Yeah,
handmade, hand-thrown pottery, or?
yeah, I got it in different colors, and it has a chicken on it.
What, you
And
got more than one, you mean?
yes,
How many
yeah.
did you get?
Oh, I don't remember.
Grandpa's around,
Actually,
don't say.
Tusi and her boyfriend sent me about 4 because her boyfriend at that time's friend worked in the kitchen there.
Oh my God. Why haven't I seen them in your house? I've only seen that one.
Oh, I've got a black one and a green one. I gave your parents the green one, I believe.
Oh.
So I've given some away
hmm
because I have so many different cups that,
Yeah,
like,
that's so fun though when you have so many different cups and then you wake up in the morning and that's like your morning problem. Which mug do I use?
what do I feel like today?
Yeah, exactly. I have a brand new teacup set, which I was
Uh,
telling my grandma about a little bit earlier. So here it is.
oh, that looks old
It's
fashioned.
so pretty. Yeah, and on the bottom it says Germany gold 24 karat. I wish I could
Yeah.
show you the bottom, but it's in perfect condition. I'm surprised that this is so old. It must be, oh God, I don't even know. I would say 80 years old or so. Um,
Probably.
yeah, so here's the saucer. It's the same look.
Okay.
And this is the stamp that's on the bottom. But anyway, and then I have a plate. So I have all
Cute.
three, and yeah, it's totally my style. So it's really funny because when we were at Robert's parents this weekend, Grandma, I'm already repeating myself because you kind of know about this. Robert and his brother and dad are cleaning out the holiday home, which his grandma and grandpa own, and they're getting really old and they're very sick, and they cannot take care of it at all. They cannot even really leave the house. So anyway, the Robert's dad and then Robert and his brother have all been cleaning it out and getting rid of and throwing away basically everything, which is kind of sad. But Robert found this teacup and tea set here, and he saved it for me. So that's really cool. And I want to show
Yes.
quick a couple of things that I stopped by there for maybe 15 minutes, and there was hundreds upon hundreds of things in trash. This was just
Oh.
crazy. Yeah. And so I just grabbed a couple of things quick. And I'll show you. So I found this really old tin, which I told Grandma about, but she's never seen. So it says Frankfurt am Main, and it's a really old tin, and it has an old picture of Frankfurt, as
Yeah.
English people would say. So I think it's really neat.
Yes, it is.
And I first thought I would use it maybe for my sewing or something like that, but now I'm thinking I give it to my dad.
And it says Frankfurt and what?
Frankfurt am Main, which is what you call Frankfurt in German.
Okay. Mainz isn't another town?
No.
Because that sounds like the town that Rachel was at for a while
It's
and had her
M-A-I-N.
favorite deli.
Mine. Ah, really?
Mainz. Is that it?
Yeah. It had Aunt Rachel's favorite deli or yours?
Aunt Rachel's. When I went over there and stayed with her and we drove around, we went through Mainz. And I don't know if I'm saying it right.
Yeah.
And we stopped at her favorite deli and got food for a little picnic on the road.
Oh, how fun. Yeah. M-A-I-N-Z would be Mainz. You'd be saying it right.
Yeah.
And then Robert's grandpa was really into drawing at one time, and he has so much old pencils and colored pencils and things like that, which we have. I'm not showing them right now. And nobody has ever seen any of his drawings, paintings. His dad knew that he was interested in it, but he'd never, ever seen it. And I would never say he's like an amazing artist or anything, but Robert found a pencil drawing that he drew, and it is so cute. I love this. So here it is. I hope you can see it good. It's just a
Oh,
little man in a race car.
yeah.
It's really cute.
Well, it looks like he did a really nice job.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, you'll be framing that, I
It
bet.
is framed.
Oh, it is framed. Okay.
Yeah. This is the frame that he put it in. It's a really old frame. It's completely leather on the back.
Wow.
And it's really different the way that it's hung. And he signed his name there, which is cute. And yeah, so I'll hang this in the hallway. We have like a gallery wall in our hallway, which is slowly collecting things. And I'll hang that. And then we found, I don't know the story behind this at all, but I think these are so cool.
Some tiny little antlers.
Yeah. Do you think that's terribly ugly?
No.
I think
Is
it's
that
so cool.
from the size of deer that they have in Germany, which I noticed from the few I saw
It must be.
were smaller than over here? Or is
Yeah.
that from some other type of...
I have no idea. There's nothing written on it. It doesn't say what it is. I also want to hang this in the entry hallway along with everything. I just have a wall that's a collection of random, neat, cool pictures,
You
paintings.
should hang that by the picture.
Yeah, that would be perfect. So I found a couple of other things. I found a pewter glass that I was telling you about, did I?
Yeah.
And I don't know where that is. And then we got a really nice hand-carved table, just a little side table that's out on the balcony. And we got a carpet, a really cool carpet. Okay, I'm totally going off subject. I won't keep going on
Let me see. Is this about knitting and crocheting?
I know. Okay. See, this is what happens when Grandma and I talk. When we talked on Sunday, Easter, and we talked for 2.5 hours Skyping. So we can talk forever. But anyways, yes, let's get back onto the knitting. So I share something else that I'm working on. I really don't have that much that I'm working on because we were at Robert's parents' for 5 days last week, from Thursday until Monday. So I've been really busy. I knit a little bit more. I think I maybe knit 5 rows on my Raven's Nest shawl. And you guys know what? We only have one more week. Wednesday is the 30th, the last day in April. So all of our knitting things have to be finished. But anyway, so this is the shawl. It's so crazy soft. Can you see it, Grandma?
Yes, I can see the pattern. Looks pretty.
Yeah.
Your mom will like it.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's crazy fun to knit. Have you ever knit lace?
No.
You've never knit lace?
Oh, no. It looks like too much counting and remembering and...
You know, it is. It is. You really have to look at the pattern all the time. And it actually can be really fun. Because I was kind of dreading at first getting to the lace. But once I got to it, it's so addicting. It really is. If you have Grandma, you've got to try it sometime. I know that you really I think you generally like patterns that you don't have to think, don't you?
That's the way I knit.
Yeah.
I don't have to think a lot, although I have done in the past things that I had to count and remember.
Would you say you didn't enjoy those?
No. But it was a long time ago when my mind was younger.
Uh-huh. Would you say you what?
I did a sweater for Becky when she was little that I should have hung on to. I don't know who got it. That had leaves around the neck.
With cabled or Fair Isle?
So cute. It was just a plain knit, the body.
Yeah.
But then it was just because of the decreasing and increasing that the leaves were formed.
Ah, so it was kind of like a little cable.
No. I bet I have that book with the pattern in, unless I gave it to you.
I'm sure I don't have it. Interesting. And you enjoyed that?
Oh, well, it turned out so cute that...
Oh, how fun. That would be neat to see. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What size did you make? How old was she?
She was probably 3, maybe, 4.
Yeah. How cute.
Yeah, it was pretty. So,
What color did you do it in? Green, did you say?
it was a pretty shade of blue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, how fun would that be to see?
Yeah.
So cool. What else do you have?
Too many things away. So,
Yeah, that's just what happens, I guess. When you think you don't need it anymore or give it to someone
and I
else, you
think I'm going to keep knitting lots and lots. And
yeah, yeah.
oh, did you want me to show anything else here?
Yeah, show whatever else you have. I just have one more project that I've kind of been working on a teeny bit.
I will show you the mittens that Grandpa's cousin in Norway sent.
Are those yours?
These are mine.
When I spoke to you and Grandpa last time, you didn't know where yours were. You just had his.
Yeah, these are mine.
Where in Norway are they living?
By Trondheim.
Mm-hmm. Have you visited them before? Or you've just kind of corresponded?
Aunt Becky, yeah, Aunt Becky, Peter, Lisa, and I visited with them.
Mm-hmm.
They could not speak English, but and I'm not sure their daughter could, but I think their daughter's boyfriend could translate.
Oh, how funny. Was it
Yeah.
was it enjoyable or did you find it hard that you couldn't really?
Uh, no, it wasn't uncomfortable at all. And Becky had written to her years ago,
Mm-hmm.
your Aunt Becky. And she had contacted Ava before we went shortly to tell her we would be there. That's
Yeah.
how it came to be that we met them.
How funny. How neat.
Yeah.
So show
So
the mittens a little bit more. She made them all by herself, hand knit. So it looks like
I
a
don't
bit
know
of
if she did or her daughter did.
put
She has
them
2 daughters.
up more. Up even. Yep, perfect. So it's Fair Isle and in Tarja.
And the back is like that.
Crazy pretty, huh?
Yeah.
Those Norwegian designs are so nice.
I have knit mittens like this. I'll have to show them another time.
Oh my God, I've never seen them.
Ah.
Never. So many things you have that I
I
haven't
should
seen.
send you a pair of them.
Would be so neat to see. Yeah. Will you wear those, do you think?
Oh, yes. Yes, I'm going to.
Well,
I
why
think I
not?
should.
Yeah, exactly. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
You have a little bit of share time with us. What else do you have?
Well, this is the shawl that I was mentioned.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God, so
It's
cozy. It's
big. Can you see the colors? And
put it up. Put it.
oh, I'll have to stand up to put it up.
No. Just put it closer to the camera. Closer to the computer. Slow. Now just leave it still.
Okay.
Perfect. It looks like a lot of jewel tones.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And this pattern was from the store you worked at,
Off the beaten path.
Off the Beaten Path. And your Aunt Becky knit this one. I knit one in brown.
Mm-hmm. You guys bought it in a kit, didn't you?
I don't think it was a kit. I think I
Oh.
picked the yarn up off the shelf.
Mm-hmm. Can you remember what the pattern was? I don't remember at all. I remember it was a really popular pattern at the time, though, and the sample in the shop was beautiful.
Yeah, and easy because there's not it's just knit.
Garter stitch increases and some yarn overs, it looks like.
Yeah.
Crazy. And did you enjoy knitting it, do you remember? Or were you wondering when is this going to end?
And that was so long ago, I don't remember. I was probably glad to get done with it because it is big.
Do you wear it? Do you use it?
Not like I should, because I usually have a sweater on.
Yeah. I think
and this is the one that Aunt Becky did, and she was going to give it to your Aunt Rachel. But these are my colors, and the brown is Rachel's colors, so I gave mine to Becky to give to Rachel. So there you go.
Did you take that one because you like it better? Do you like you like those
colors? The colors are more me.
How funny.
And this is the sweater I told you about and couldn't remember.
Yeah, we talked about this when my grandma was on here. This is the kit that she talked about. I think it's amazing. And this screams you because you're knitting often things with pine trees and on them.
Yeah.
Oh my
It
God.
was done up, one of them. And
I love it. I would wear this. I think it's so freaking cool looking.
Yeah.
No, I really love it. What is it? Is it a 100% wool?
Oh, yes. Yes.
So
Yeah.
how many can you hold it back a little bit more? Just lift it up as high as you can.
This is the back. It's a
Yeah.
cardigan. It's a cardigan.
Oh my God, it's so fantastic. So it's not finished, right?
It's all done, excepting pressing and, of course, running in the ends.
Mm-hmm.
So when you come, you can do all that.
It is done. You have all the button band is done in the front?
No, that's not done. That's not done.
So just the
That's the
button
only
band and then,
all these ends.
oh my goodness, I bet.
Yeah.
If you sit one evening, oh, excuse me, and watch
You know
a
what I'm thinking I did? Because
some of
I
them
had
are,
I had gone to knitting the bodies of my sweaters all in one piece
uh-huh,
instead of
mm-hmm.
doing a back and two sides and sewing them.
Which is isn't that how all the sweater construction used to be back then mostly until Elizabethzimmerman?
Yes. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wondering if the pattern wasn't um, a back and two sides, and I decided to just do the whole thing.
Well, you still have the pattern somewhere, don't you said?
The pattern is someplace, and all the colors of the trees, which I will send to you.
And I'm going to make a sweater.
Yeah.
I'm
You
so
know,
excited to make this sweater.
yeah, when we talked about, like, you have lots of ideas of things you'd like to do,
Yeah.
and I always did. And if I'd be knitting on something, I'd be thinking about what else I could do. And when I took this out and showed it to you, I was thinking I could make a hat and just put a row of trees around the hat.
Totally. With that
Yeah,
pattern, you mean?
yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's really
Put a
nice.
ribbon in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I like it. So I'll get all of the colors and then I'll just have to pick a plain cream yarn to knit the sweater with, which will be completely easy.
yeah. And I've got the end of a ball in the sleeve. Can you see it?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And it's a really light worsted weight.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really nice. I love the flex. That's one of my favorite kinds of yarn, a tweed yarn.
Yeah. And it looks like it has all the colors of the trees reflect in it.
Mm-hmm. So pretty. You could use, yeah, so nice. How long ago did you knit that? Years? Would you say 20 years ago or less?
Oh my gosh.
No idea. Really, you have no recollection.
No, time goes. But I suppose it could be on to 20 years. I suppose
Yeah.
it could. I
Why
don't
not?
remember if it was at Whispering Pines or Elfin
Whispering Pines
Village.
is where she used to live, where Grandma
Yeah,
lived when I was growing up.
yeah.
What a name for a street.
Hmm. And I had other knit things, but I think I left them in the other room. But are we on? Well, my
You have
bunny's
something,
here.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, for you often do that with different holidays. You knit cute little, just kind of make up your own patterns for different things. So these are little bunnies.
With a plastic egg inside.
Uh-huh. It's cute little gift. You could put some little candy in there, give it to a little child.
Oh, yes, you could. Or an adult, a big
Yeah,
child.
yeah.
So,
Put it up a little bit higher. Yeah, they're so cute. And then you embroidered the eyes and the nose. Yeah.
yeah, this one I haven't finished, but
With a
yeah.
cute little. ribbon around the neck, and then that's not a homemade pom-pom, is it?
No,
Just a
no.
little, so cute. Those are adorable. Do you actually use those in the Easter? Do you have them out?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I just put the ones that were on my table away
Uh-huh.
today. So,
How cute.
and I'm sending you a couple.
Yes, because
If
I
you
don't
want,
have any. Isn't
yeah,
this so
that's
crazy?
surprising. Your mother's got all kinds. So,
Yeah. I think it's though because I mean, I've lived here in Germany for 6 years, and I think when I was younger than I am, I sure appreciated this stuff. But I think it seems like since I've moved here, I've really gotten into
well,
handwork
you have
and
your own home now, and
yeah, I
your
think that's
kids have your
probably
own
it.
home.
I
Yeah.
have, I still have some of my Easter stuff out. I don't have loads of Easter stuff. It's more so spring stuff. But when I was at Robert's parents' house, Renate, Robert's mom, has such cute Easter decorations. And in Germany, you're not decorating. I told my grandma this with plastic at all. You either have some sort of porcelain or wooden. It's usually wooden. And she has this adorable wooden train. It's a 4-piece train set. And she lets Elodie play with all of it. I think that she's not worried if it breaks. She's a person who things don't really have crazy meaning to her. Yeah. And so she lets Elodie play with these things. But anyway, there's this wooden train that is so cute. I love it so much. And I remember last Easter I told her I really liked it. And then this Easter Elodie played with it, and it just so happened that she has had an extra set of this. So she gave it to me. So I want to show you. So here it is as a set. And I will just
Oh,
take it apart and show you quick each piece. So here's the
cute.
front piece, yeah, with little rabbit.
Oh,
And then here's the
cute.
next piece. Yeah, they're so cute. Maybe if I put my...
Wow.
They're so nice. I love German decorations for anything. Aren't they adorable?
Yes.
Grandma's
Yeah,
like, I want one. Does she have a third one?
yes. Yeah.
And then the cute bird.
I want one. You just don't see, you
Really,
see nice things over here,
but
but
nothing
not
like...
quite the same
No,
as,
no. And
yeah.
it doesn't feel like it's cheaply made either. It
Oh,
feels...
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's adorable. So I have that on one of my shelves with some candles and a really cute kind of like felted Easter basket, which Elodie actually used. She didn't have a wooden basket. She had a felted, really neat basket. I'm not going to get up and grab it. But yeah, so I guess I'll show the final thing that I've been working on, which I've hardly worked on it. I told you about this, Grandma. This is, or no, I didn't tell you about this. I said that this is something that my grandma would really like. I don't have a picture of it. I've only knit, I think, 5 rounds on it, so you have no idea what it looks like. This is all that I've finished.
Oh, cute.
Yeah. Isn't it amazing? No, but this is the Bird of Happiness. I so wanted to get this finished. I think it's something that once I'm working on it, it will take, I don't know, maybe an hour and a half to knit. I don't know. I haven't really. It's one that you have to look at the pattern the entire time. It's not just kind of like the bunny that you wanted to knit. My grandma really wanted to knit the mini bunny love, but then she looked at the pattern and she was like, ooh, because like we said, she likes to just...
Pages of, oh gosh.
Yeah, yeah. But it's really, that pattern is really easy when you're knitting it. It's
I'll
so,
try it.
when you look at the pattern, you think, oh man, this is a lot of stuff, but it's actually really obvious. You can kind of think ahead of the pattern. If you read a couple of lines ahead, and I think it's the same with this one. So yeah, that one's, I don't know. I hope I have time to knit it this week. So then my last and final thing that I've finished is my socks. I've finished them. So this is the one on the sock blocker. And this is as well. This is my own design. And look at the heel.
Yeah.
It's a totally different kind of heel. It's really neat, Grandma. You should try it. It's called the Fish Lips Kiss heel. I've talked about it. I'm sure you've listened and thought, what in the heck is that?
Yeah.
And it's
And
really
when I
neat.
look at it, I think the same thing. What in the heck is
It
that?
fits really neatly. I actually really like the fit of it. Um, and
You have Grandma Jenny's a pair of socks she knit, and
yeah,
I've often wondered what kind of heel she did.
yeah, it's different. I should
Yeah,
look at it a bit better and see.
yeah.
And then here's the other one that I finished. So this one's not on a sock blocker just because I didn't think about it at that time to put it on there. But yeah, the heel's really neat. It's so differently constructed.
And is it comfortable on?
Yeah, I said it fits really nicely and it's not like some heels you have to, I've gotten the hang of this. This is the second pair of socks that I've knit with this heel. And I think now the third pair, I wouldn't have to look at the pattern at all. It's super, I always want to say einfach. It's a word in German that I always want to use this word. For me, there isn't really a word in English. It's super einfach. I don't know. What would that word be? I don't know. But it is. Yeah. So that's all that I'm knitting. I will show quickly because I totally forgot the prizes. Oh no, and I forgot two of them. So these are the two prizes that I'm giving away for people who are knitting in the knit along. This one, I won't talk about them because I've already talked quite a bit about them in every episode. So this is the Color Adventures DK yarn in the forest colorway. Have you ever knit with?
Pretty,
It
pretty.
is. It's
Yeah.
it's a merino. It's 75 merino, 20 silk, and 5% stellina.
I hope
Stellina.
I win that.
You know what? Someone will.
Yeah.
No, but I told you I have some yarn. I have some yarn that I'm going to give you it is kind of this shade of green with it looks like that mini skein that I showed that I said really reminds me of you, but it has a hint of plum in it. And then this one, which is amazing. This is definitely one of my new. I want to get you a skein of this yarn sometime, Grandma, because I really want you to try and knit with it. The company is called the Cyborg Craft Room, and I think this is becoming one of my favorite yarns. My favorite yarn company ever used to be Lene Yarn. I've talked about it a lot, but this one's coming up close. I did get two skeins when Vanessa from Lene Yarn had her anniversary sale. I bought two skeins of yarn. So I bought this one. It just arrived, I think, on Tuesday. So I bought this one. I don't know if you can see it. In the Amare colorway. It's her charity skein, so the sales go to charity. And it's really cool because when you order her yarn, you always get a stitch marker with the yarn. And the stitch marker matches the colorway. Yeah, and I really love her yarn. And then I ordered this one. This totally kind of screams you. I've been wanting this. It's her new colorway. It's called Manic. And this is what it looks like. I don't know how well it shows up.
Looks like lots of colors and sparkly.
It's in person. Oh my God. It's nothing like what I expected, but it's so pretty. And the stitch marker is really cool too.
Nice.
Do you ever use stitch markers? I guess you don't really use fancy patterns.
Well, my stitch markers over the years have been another color of yarn tied where I needed to mark the stitch.
Yeah. So. I know a lot of people do that, but stitch markers are so
they didn't used to have stitch markers.
Or they have the little plastic ones.
Yeah,
but not fancy. Oh my God. I'm getting this little teeny obsession with stitch markers. They're so fun. I love using them. And with lace projects, it's best that you're using stitch markers. Otherwise, it's easier to get thrown off. And even when you're knitting a sweater, I mean, that must have been when you used the pieces of yarn for the sleeves or...
Oh, I used pieces of yarn for years.
Yeah.
Lots of projects.
How crazy. Would you ever use stitch markers now? I guess what would you use it for?
Same thing I used to use it for.
Yeah. But you
Marking
don't knit
reading.
sweaters and things like that anymore, you know?
But I'm going to. I'm going to find that pattern that I really like and get out my Lopi yarn. And
What pattern again?
it was in a magazine, and it had like a pattern around the neck and on the sleeves and
It was a Fair Isle pattern?
that type. Yeah.
With what sort of a design on it? Like a Norwegian or?
I would say basically it's been a
Mhm.
while since I've seen it, but I'm
Curious.
going to find
What
that
colors will you
magazine.
do it in, are you thinking?
Well, I won't do it in the colors they suggested because I got a bunch of Lopi from Rachel.
Ah, you did.
And I'm thinking that the main color from Rachel, I'm wondering if it's a light blue.
That sounds pretty. That would look really pretty with your hair, huh? I imagine.
Yeah, complexion, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Crazy. When are you hoping to do that? Soon? Or sometime this winter or fall?
So because I need a project, so
Yeah.
I'll
You
probably
Grandma's knitting
I'll
mojo
probably
is like
locate it all.
nowhere.
Yeah, I'll locate
Grandma,
it all before we talk again.
so what does a person do when they have no knitting mojo? What are you doing? Are you reading any
Stress,
books? Are you
stress. So
do you
I'm
feel more
writing more
stressed now that
letters.
you're not knitting?
I'm writing more letters
Hmm.
again,
Which is nice.
and I'm reading.
What are you reading? What's a good book you've read lately, or what are you reading at the moment if you like it?
I'm reading a book called Medicine Woman,
Oh, and?
uh, Indian
Do you have it next
American.
to you? You don't
It's on
have
the
to get up if
table.
okay, it's okay.
Yeah,
Are you far into it or?
yeah. It's not a really long book, and I think around halfway.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Are you liking it? Would you recommend it so far, or is it a
If you
historic
like
book? Is
that
it?
type of reading, um, I haven't enjoyed it as much as some things I've read. I just read a couple of mysteries, and I enjoyed them.
What were they? Can you remember the title?
No, a lady at the restaurant who's usually sitting there reading, liked the
By
author.
herself?
And yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, you couldn't concentrate unless you were by yourself.
Yeah, I
And
guess.
I couldn't concentrate in a restaurant anyway with
Yeah.
people walking in.
Mm.
But she brought a couple books for me.
Oh, how cool. Oh, it would be cool if you could remember what it was called.
Yeah, and I don't remember right
Yeah.
now.
Aw. Well,
So,
I'm
and I
reading,
did, yeah.
what's that?
What are you reading?
I'm reading a book called Requiem because I talked about this book series quite a while ago. It's called Delirium, and Delirium it's a trilogy. So Delirium is the first one. I don't even know what the second one is called, and the third one is Requiem. It's been forever since I've read the first two, but I just started, I think Monday, reading Requiem. I'm about a fourth of the way into it. I love this series. It's a dystopian series, like all of the series that I really like. And yeah, I've recommended it before. I know a couple of you guys, a couple of the listeners have read the Delirium series after I talked about it. But Requiem is really good. It's keeping my attention. I don't know if you would like it, Grandma.
Yeah, I'm not sure I would either. And that just reminds me that I still have Marin's Harry Potter book
Ah, you crazy
that you told
lunatic.
me to skip through some of it, and I should do that and get back to reading that so I can return it to her.
I can't believe it. Harry Potter is my favorite book series ever.
You know, I
I
liked the
love
first,
Harry Potter.
did I read three or two? And I liked them.
Yep,
But
you've
then
read three. Now you're on you're on the Goblet of Fire where they have the tournament.
and you told me to skip that part.
I didn't tell you to skip it, but I just said I know that a lot of people have trouble once they get to that. A lot of people actually stop reading Harry Potter. So if that is going to prevent you from reading Harry Potter, skip it. Read Who Wins, read the end part of it, and then continue reading the book.
Yeah.
Because I know that, yes, this is the book that dooms Harry Potter for a lot of people. But keep reading. It's amazing. If you like the first couple of ones, you will like the rest.
And I did like the first couple, and I think that Maren gave me the fifth one also. So
which is which is bigger than the fourth. They just keep getting bigger. The fifth one's a big blue one. Yeah.
yeah. So I
Yeah.
better look them up and finish.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. And I want to start downloading some audiobooks because I want to be crafting a lot more. So it is really hard to be reading. And so it's really nice to be knitting or to be sewing or to be doing something while listening to an audiobook. Because it's nice to have, I don't know, I enjoy stories and I like to let my imagination go while, it's fun. So
Yeah.
and I also like to do that when I'm on my bike, when I'm on my way to work. I have my one earphone in and then obviously one out, just so I'm safe if anybody wonders.
And I am looking forward to getting one of your bags so I can carry my stuff, like to
It's
play
been on its way
cards.
for months. See, where this package is, I have no idea. But I still have two bags in
Send
my
me another
shop.
one.
I have this bag in my shop. These ones have been in here for a long time. So this one, it's a dinosaur one.
Uh-huh.
Hilarious. I think this one's funny.
Uh-huh.
The other one is gone. I had two of them that I made. And then this one, which I love. I really love this bag. It's called Lucky Feather.
Uh-huh.
Or and I like it. The colors are really pretty. They don't show up the same on the camera, I've noticed.
Hold it up again. And is that a small, medium, or large?
I just have a
Medium?
medium and large bag. That's all that I have in my shop right now.
Okay.
So this is a large one. You can fit a lot of stuff in here. I
Well, you
actually,
could maybe send that one with your
when they
parents.
come, or I make you a different one. I will make you a totally different one.
I was wondering if I should send a piece of my material with pine trees on.
Ah, do it. I'll make you one.
Okay.
Or any material that you really love. I will make it into would you like this sort of a size?
Probably.
This is the medium. This is perfect for like socks. You can definitely fit with a little bit of extra room some socks, mittens.
Yeah.
And in here you could fit
I'll keep open.
I could fit a sweater for myself in this bag. Um yeah. Yeah. And lots of things. I have this size that I take to work, and I keep in here my notebook here with my pencils, usually a sandwich, some yogurt, and some fruit, a little knitting project, and then I have some
Yeah.
tissues, my phone, a pair of socks, chapstick. This is all fitting in here. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably throw some candy and one of those energy bars and
Candy, energy bars, chocolate, noodles.
Kleenex.
Yeah, Grandma's purse is like a Mary Poppins purse. It is. Yeah, that's so funny. So, should we move on to crochet?
I think so.
All right. I just grabbed a couple of things really quick. Should I show something first, or do you want to start?
No, you.
Okay, so I will start with, and I have quite a bit of these. I have them in little jars right now, just so you can see them. I would rather have them in little jars than in a bag in a box. So they're on little jars, and they're on my cabinet, so you can see them. Everyone can see them. And then they're just kind of rolled nicely so that they still stay nice. And they're pillow edgings. So here they are. And Grandma, you can talk a little bit about these as I show them. So, because you actually gave them to me.
And that's what I grew up sleeping on, is white pillowcases with crocheted edging that either my grandmother or my mother made. And these are either my grandmother or mother's. Yeah, always a pair.
Oh, they're so pretty, aren't they? Can you imagine the work in these?
And then you whip them on by hand. And then, of course, when the pillowcase wears out, you don't want to throw the lace. So you
No
take
way.
it off so you can put it on
Yeah.
another.
And you said that it was a common thing that you would get this as a wedding gift.
Well, I don't know how many people did, but I know, got a pair from my Grandma Jenny. My mother, of course,
Hmm.
I probably got more than one from her. And an older lady who was a friend. Yeah,
So I have these
yeah,
three.
either Grandma Jenny or my Grandma Jenny or my mother made.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're so pretty. And yeah, so you got those, maybe not necessarily these exact ones, but for your wedding, a set.
Probably, or yeah.
So nice.
I'm sure that mother gave us more than
Did you
one set
appreciate
because
them when you got them, or did you just, it was just a normal thing?
that's just what I always slept on. I always liked them. I
Hmm.
always thought they were pretty, and I still, I still have some pillowcases with those on.
Yeah, I know my mom has some pretty ones.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And I'm sure I'll sew those to some pillowcases or do something special with them. Would even be kind of neat to make some sort of quilt sometime and have it be some sort of detail on the quilt. Do you know what I mean? Kind of sew it on there so that it's actually on there. Do some sort of neat design feature like that. You think that would be weird?
Now, if you're picturing something, it probably isn't weird. Um, when I grew up, we wore dresses mostly, although
Yeah.
I preferred to wear pants. But and petticoats,
With that at the bottom
yeah,
or
and they
bordering.
would put that on the bottom. Or
Ah, that
always
sounds
wore
pretty.
aprons, and I have an
Hmm.
apron that my Grandma Jenny made that has uh, some kind of handwork like that
Ooh, I want to see
inserted
it.
in it.
That
I
sounds
should,
really nice.
yeah, I should, if I have it, I should send it to you.
Oh my God. I want a pretty old-fashioned apron so bad, and I would wear it.
Yeah, my mother always wore
Hmm.
aprons.
I would love one. There, if you have a nice, pretty one,
I
I
will
would
look.
I
Yeah,
would love to wear one. I would love one. Yeah, that would be awesome.
yeah. I'm sure I probably gave some away, but I'll look and see what I have.
Yeah, yeah. What do you have?
Um, I have the doily that you told me to.
Ah, my first ever crochet doily.
Yeah, and I will hold it up against uh, a placemat that my mother crocheted. So, so it
Mm-hmm.
will show.
The yellow doily. Yep.
Yeah. Hmm. It's in my yellow bedroom. And this is a doily that my mother
Oh,
crocheted.
that's a placemat, or
A placemat. Yeah.
what did she make
Yeah.
it out of?
Um,
Is it like a heavy cotton, or is it wool?
I would think it would be cotton, I would think. It's got a fuzzy.
I kind of, I've never thought about crocheting a really thick placemat like that. It's kind of nice.
I've got two red and green ones, Christmas ones, around and this size that mother did
My
that
goodness.
I put out at Christmas.
Now I want to make one. How nice does that look on the table? And crocheting is so quick, and I cannot even imagine on such a big needle with such big yarn.
And
I
this is
love
a lap.
this. I love that. That is so amazing.
Most of these in the old days, it seems like had a black background,
Mm-hmm.
but my mother did this one, which is, I don't know, was it 4 feet by 4 feet, maybe?
Oh my God, it's so adorable. I love that.
Lots of colors of yarn in
Yeah, it
here.
must have just been her, maybe odds and ends that she just so cute. So cute.
And this isn't crocheting, but this is these are a couple of pillows that my mother did.
Ah, mm-hmm. Like the ones that I have on my sofa.
Yeah. Well, this is littler.
Mm-hmm. What does the back look like?
She just put a white
Mm-hmm.
back on it.
Mm-hmm. That's really pretty. I really like the colors.
And then this is a Scandinavian
Did someone make that one?
mother,
Mm-hmm.
my mother.
You gave me a little kit for a pillow, like this sort of Scandinavian needlework.
Yeah.
Mine's in like deep reds and browns.
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah.
then is it a corduroy on the
Corduroy on
back?
the back. Yeah, gold corduroy.
Crazy nice work, huh?
Yeah. My mother did really nice work.
Mm-hmm. My goodness.
Whatever she did was,
How did she have time for you children? She was always so busy with her.
well, she was always home, and
Yeah, when you guys were at school
homes
or
were simpler and not quite so, they were a lot of work because it was a lot of work back then.
mm-hmm.
But she was usually home.
And didn't she stay up quite late, you said, in the evenings?
Oh, she sat up till past midnight, and I'm sure when I was in grade school and we had a coal furnace and lived in cold Iowa, that she got up and threw coal in at like 4 a.m. So,
Oh, your mom seems so cute.
yeah.
How funny. Yeah. So I have the red one. I won't go into detail. This is the red one that I made, which is like the yellow one. The same exact
Uh-huh.
pattern. I didn't like this one. I talked about this, that I didn't like it at all at first. But now I like it a bit more. I think I will use it mostly around Christmas time. And I actually have it out. It's in Elodie's room on her dresser. And then I have this, which is crochet edging again. This is my favorite piece that I have. This is my favorite sort of crochet embroidery piece. It's a little bit wrinkled, but so there's some embroidery, and then there's this pretty crochet edging here.
Uh-huh.
And isn't that so pretty?
That looks so familiar.
Did your mom make this?
Oh, well, you got it from me, and
Yeah.
I didn't do it. Yeah.
Did your mom make it? Do you
You know,
know?
I'm not really sure. She did.
The
I know
back.
she
She
embroidered
was so
on.
clean. That's the back.
Yeah, that would be her type of work.
Hmm.
Neat.
Oh, it's so. I would love to make some things like this. I really like it. And then I actually have quite a bit of, I think it must be Grandma Olson's um, crocheted things. Because did she crochet more than she knit, or did I just happen to get more?
She probably crocheted more than she knit.
Hmm.
She probably did, because we always had crocheted doilies.
Yeah. Well, I have this. You gave this to me, so this is what it looks like. I love this.
Well, that's a pot holder, crocheted pot holder.
I have it. I use it as I have a pretty little glass votive that I put on it,
Ah,
and I
that's good.
love the colors.
Yeah, me too.
They're
Those
so
are
pretty.
pretty.
And I
Yeah.
remember when you sent this to me, so it opens. There's a little hook right here, and then it
Yeah.
opens. And there are these strings. It kind of looks like a little jellyfish or something. So we didn't know what it is. You didn't know what it was for exactly, or why it opens like that. Do any of you guys
No,
know?
some don't. I just figured it was a pot holder. I had it with my
But there
pot
must be
holders.
some sort of reason why you do that.
Yeah. Well, I figured
So
it was double just for the
the heat.
for the
But
yeah
then
for
why
the.
would you have this little hook on it up here?
Well, it's kind of a funny place for hook, but they usually did put a hook on the pot holders that they crocheted to
But
hang
then why
them.
wouldn't it be here? If you guys
Yeah.
know, let us know because we are interested. And I'm sure somebody knows because you guys know everything. One of you does. So I would be so interested to know
Yeah. If
what
that
that
has
is.
another use.
Yeah, crazy. That's all the crochet that I have. I think. Yeah. Do you have any? Do you have any? want to crochet?
You know, if I would have thought, I did crochet Easter eggs. Remember
You
that?
told me about this. I don't remember about it. I don't think I've
And
ever
little
even seen
tiny
them.
Easter baskets that I got the idea from the egg, from half the egg with the hen. And I did once, years ago, crochet hats I was on a bowling team. I wonder why I did that. And I crocheted a hat for each of us.
You wonder why you were on the team or why you crocheted a hat?
Yeah, because I wasn't into crocheting, and why didn't I knit hats? Yeah. But I really liked it. It was kind of like had a little brim.
You've told me about this before, and you didn't know where it was, what you did with it?
I had with the pattern. I think I could maybe run across the pattern.
Oh.
But I didn't hang on to the hat. I wish I would have, because I liked it.
Yeah, well, what'd you give it away for?
I don't know.
Maybe you grew tired of it at one time, or...
Yeah.
Maybe someone wanted it and you thought you could make another.
I don't... That was before your mother was born.
Ah,
Yeah.
How funny. So quite a while ago.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yes.
Oh my God, it's so cute to imagine you on a bowling team. Were you good?
I was kind of in the middle, not. And I never got really good. I'm sure if I
just had fun chatting and hanging out.
So, yeah.
How funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there last episode I talked about Never Would I Ever, and this was how we kind of started talking into crochet. Was there anything like that with you, that you, maybe in your crafting, you thought, oh my God, that is so ugly? You know how I thought crocheting was so ugly.
You know, and I always thought knitting was so much nicer looking than crocheting, and I like fine knit, and crocheting is always kind of bulky or...
Depending, unless you're looking at like doilies, like I said, doilies. I mean, what your mom did was super intricate, really fine. I mean, she used like sewing thread basically for a lot of things.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, and I liked that. But I didn't like things you wore.
Yeah. I'm the same.
Yeah, so I was never really into. I took a crocheting class once at MATC in Fort.
How old were you?
Well, don't ever ask me those questions. I don't remember.
How old were you? When was it? What was the day? What was the temperature like?
Yeah. And I went with another lady, and my problem was that when I went home at night, I sat and knit.
That's so funny.
But the funnier thing was, when I went to the crochet class, as a sample, she had one of my eggs, which she must have bought at someplace that was selling those eggs.
Oh my God.
For a sample. And there was no pattern for that egg. It's just something that I did off the top of my head. So I thought that was so funny.
That is hilarious. How random is that?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh my God. That's crazy. Crazy. All right. So we can close the podcast. It was super nice having you on the podcast. And hopefully we have you on soon again.
Well, in a couple months.
Yeah, no. In a couple of weeks, hopefully. I would love to have it at least be once a month, once every 4 weeks, or...
Hey, that sounds...
that sounds the most doable, I think.
Doable.
Yeah, all right. So
and I have some other things to show. So.
Yeah, exactly. Then you can slowly accumulate a little basket full of some fun things, and maybe you start knitting in the next 4 weeks and have some fun knitting to share. But yeah, it's always fun seeing the older things and hearing about the older things that you've done. And yeah, remember those necklaces?
Yeah, well, you remind me.
I will. All right.
Who knows? I have enough of them, and I'll pick out a couple. Well, I'll show you a couple next time we talk.
Yeah.
So you can pick out
a couple for my parents to bring. Yeah, that would be awesome. All right, so I will talk to you guys later. You guys have a nice week and happy knitting. Bye.